Hello, this is Joe Pryor, the virtual real estate team in Oklahoma, and we do investment real estate residentially in both the Oklahoma City and the Tulsa market. What I want to address today is something that's not talked about enough. I read articles all the time. I'm on real estate networks, and they talk about all sorts of things. But the one thing they never talk about, it seems like, is what does it take to get somebody out if they're not paying their rent? In other words, what is the rules for eviction in every state? And this is crucial because I can tell you that I see sometimes where they say, hey, you need to invest in this state. You need to invest in this city. And I know for a fact that the rules favor the renter no matter what. And think about this for 1 minute. You're paying $1,500 a month, let's say, for a property, and they hang you up for 6 months in terms of vacancy, because that is the foreclosure rules. 6 months of $1,500 a month payments because there's no forgiveness when it comes to a mortgage company. That means that your return on investment is out the window, and it can happen again and again and again. This is a bad situation. So whatever you do, wherever you invest, check out what the state rules are for what does it take to evict. Now, you want a great property manager. There is no question about it. And there's more bad property management than good. And you need to interview a lot. I'm fortunate in that I've worked with this one company for the last 17 years, and they're outstanding. I feel blessed in that particular respect. That's not always the case. Back to eviction. I'm in Oklahoma, so I'm going to speak for my state. Now, I'm not the only state that's this way. There's other states that are very favorable to the landlord. So here's how it works with our property managers. All rents are due on the 1st. You are late on the 2nd. You are filed on for eviction on the 5th. You have until the 10th to bring in a cashier's check. They will not accept a personal check nor cash. They don't deal in cash. It's got to be a legitimate cashier's check. If you don't bring in a cashier's check on the 10th, you go to the courthouse on the 14th or 15th, and our property managers send an attorney. It's not that expensive to do. They've worked this out. Doesn't happen that often, but they send an attorney to make sure this is serious business. Now, the judge, first question out of his mouth is, are you late on the rent? And the answer is yes, I'm late on the rent. Now, if you didn't bring pictures of 400 roaches, and by the way, we don't deal in roach-infested houses. We deal in executive rentals. If you deal with cheap crap, you may get into that type of a situation. I'm talking about dealing in quality executive type homes. So what the judge says, you're out. There's no excuse for you not paying your rent. You need to leave now. Now, the next question is, what happens if they don't leave? Well, it's very simple. 7 days after that court hearing, they send a sheriff out to change all the locks and the doors. And if you can't get your stuff out, you cannot get in. Now, as a landlord and a property manager, you now have leverage. You want this, pay us your rent. Now, remember, we get at least 1 month of a security deposit, so you're in good shape. You're covered for what is lost. Now, you can't sell that stuff. You have to hold it for a certain amount of time, but it is leverage. Most important thing is we have 2 to 3 weeks to get somebody out there, not 6 months, not a year. Check on what your state that you're investing in, the laws in terms of what evictions are, because we don't want to kill your return on investment. We want you to get wealthy with real estate.